Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. I know it's really early. I usually like to go live in the evenings, but I will be away tonight. So let me go ahead and enjoy this. In fact, I literally have to leave in 15 minutes and I will be gone. But I'll see you guys sometime tomorrow evening. But we start with the topic of the 10 of Wands. Hi, Aries. That 10 of Wands in the topic of love, this can be wonderful. There's a lot of pressure that is being relieved, or there's a need to relieve pressure. Honestly, this card kind of stresses me out because we've got this little kitty that is like, no, I want this. I want that nest of bird eggs. And he's really quite determined and he's holding on to something very precarious. Um, Something in this case, it says he's not going to be able to get that. And maybe he shouldn't, because why should he be allowed to take away somebody else's nest? You know, those birds have just as much right to be there. So maybe this is a character who needs to quit trying to reach for something that technically isn't, they're not entitled to that. It's not right for them. Lois, Shima, Miss Moody, so great to see you guys. Thank you. We have a King of Cups. We have an Eight of Wands. Okay. In this case, it's a little too soon for me to tell for sure who is letting go, but I will say this: a King of Cups is about to take fantastic action, appropriate action. This could still have been him also, where he was trying to hold on to something, or holding on to something in a manner in which it shouldn't have been, or maybe it was somebody holding on to him that didn't have any business holding on to him, and he needs to get out of Dodge. Just like, look, if that fat little cat's going to hang on here, maybe these birds need to move their nest because maybe they built it too low. And it's not fair, but when there is a predator around, sometimes the best thing for us to do is get out of Dodge. It could be that the King of Cups needs to simply get out of the realm of somebody that is trying to latch on to him, and he needs to go someplace else. This could be a great turning point for him to realize, you know what, this is super unhealthy. They're not going to stop, but I can make it stop by me being the person who moves on. Seven of Swords. We've got a liar, liar, pants on fire, who I think has been trying to latch on to the King of Cups. This could be a karmic ex. This could be somebody who, no matter what he does, they're still trying to feel entitled. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal to get what they want. And I think the King of Cups is possibly a really nice person, but the only thing for him to do is get out of Dodge. Now, that could be the greatest motivator. Sometimes, you know, things can be really complicated, but sometimes the worst situations that we find ourselves in are the ones that push us toward the best, choices in our life. In this case, getting away from somebody that is operating this way will make his life immeasurably better. And maybe it'll put him into a calmer life, a better life. I mean, I'm not saying he should have to, make big changes just to avoid someone else who's being really unfair. But if we think of it like this, let's say we've been living in, we'll say this, an apartment complex. And let's say it's, there's some kind of pollution very close by. And then they start jackhammering and breaking down some other building right adjacent to us. And it's so close that like our teeth are rattling every time they're doing all this heavy equipment work. And we say, I'm not going to renew my lease. I'm leaving because it's so loud and this construction project's going to take forever. But what if, in moving away from the loudness and the noise, we also moved away from maybe some toxic waste dump that we really shouldn't have been living by anyway? Sometimes the annoyance, the frustration, the jackhammer, and the wrecking balls make us move, but it is something that we needed to do anyway, and it makes us move to a much nicer town, or heck, we leave and we move to an island and we have a luxurious life now that's so much better. And now we have to say thank you to the jackhammers, thank you to the liars, thank you to the people that motivate us to get away from them, because sometimes it pushes us into the luxurious arms of a beautiful Empress. This King of Cups has to say thank you. I mean, they don't have to, but it is a good thing ultimately that somebody was so insufferable that they had to actually make some sweeping life changes because it's the only way they would end up with an Empress. It is the perfect motivator. And again, it's not that it's fair, but sometimes bad things turn out great. We have the devil and the magician. Seriously, is that not what we just said? Sometimes the devil doesn't even know that he's doing his devil's work, but the devil's work, anything is just energy, right? So toxic energy or angry energy, let's think of it in the context of, like, the martial arts experts where somebody can come at them to attack them, and they're coming in with the intention of harm and danger. But a really good martial arts expert goes, I see you rushing at me, arms raised, ready to strike me, but all I see is your kinesthetic motion that I can use against you. If I sidestep and I help you to move a little faster and a little further, you go tumbling into a whole different room, and I stroll back along my merry way, and you're the one bruised up and banged up because you ran at me and I just helped you to move your energy to a different direction. That is basically the way we're looking at this. Super negative energy, the little devil's work here is actually being only looked at as exactly that. It's kinetic energy that I could actually transform. I could turn into something better. We burn fuels and firewood to make heat because we want to stay warm. Let's go ahead and burn this energy and transfer it into something else. All that negativity could be turned into a master. Sometimes we look at the magician like, he only uses the energy of, like, what is he going to create? He has to use his magic wand to, transform or transmute something. But in this case, it says we can also do that with really toxic energy. We can turn it into something so helpful, so useful. In this case, we've got the butterfly that is being, transformed soon into a butterfly that can fly free. It's such a great metaphor for somebody so toxic that is actually having the best outcome ever for this king. Maybe he wouldn't have made all these transformations if he hadn't been under this much toxic pressure. It was pretty bad, though. I'm sorry, it was pretty bad. Like, I almost think he just barely got out of Dodge from all of this drama. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make light of it, but I don't like to harp too much on all the negative, but that was big negative. But the bigger the bad it was, the bigger the energy it is that they can work with to turn it into something positive. And sure enough, we have this Ace of Swords. Again, he's getting out of Dodge. He's using that sword to cut himself free of this. He is gone. He is done with this. Oh, Lois, you angel. Welcome, honey. Welcome. We have got the Tower as well. Okay, so here's the wrecking ball, the jackhammers that I already talked about. We kind of just keep getting a repetitious message that he is the one now in the wrecking ball condition. He is, meaning he is the one swinging the wrecking ball right now to free himself from captivity. He is the one that is, he's finding a way through this. We haven't even got back over to the Empress yet. We just see him basically beating the devil at their own game, but he doesn't do it by being toxic. He uses the devil's own energy. He sees a way through it. He cuts the devil out. And now he makes sure that the devil can't come back into his world. So, I mean, this could be like a very final divorce. And it's like, it's all legally, completely sewn up nice and perfectly. And he's free. He doesn't ever have to talk to this person again. He never has to be around this person again. That is an amazing closure for him to genuinely have moved on. So let's go over and talk about the Empress at this point. Let's see. We have the Lovers and we have the Perspective card, that Hanged Man. Amazing energy of he is single, he is ready to mingle, he is whole, he is not wounded. In fact, again, we maybe have to thank the devil because they were so toxic that instead of it draining him, some things are awful and they drain us and they sap us of strength. Other things are awful and we say, screw that. I'm never dealing with that. In fact, I'm going to sashay my way right on out of here and I'm never going to have felt better. That is the route this took for him. He's never felt more healed, more empowered. He's not wounded over what happened with the devil. He's whole. And I want to say he's very single, and he's very ready to listen to his heart because he already has been, right? He's somebody who is emotional, but he is stable and sound in his emotions. He knows what he does want. This is kind of somebody who's like, man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for something delicious. It's been a long time since I had something good in my life. It's been a long time since I had a really delicious meal. It's been a long time since I met somebody amazing. I'm so ready for that. It's a really nice energy. Yell, Ruben, thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. Merry almost Christmas, Yell. Thank you for being here, honey. You're so generous. We got a Queen of Wands in the reverse. He is completely aware that his path, it's not going to be necessarily this, okay, wow, I ended things with the devil, I got out of Dodge there, and now I'll never meet anybody else toxic. No, the very next person he could run into could be toxic as well. And I know that sounds like, well, why? Maybe it's to reassure him that he can spot it when he sees it. Maybe it's to reassure him that he really is healed and that he really is not in any kind of desperation. He's not looking for just for, a warm body. He's looking for somebody genuine, but he may encounter another karmic, but I think he's going to have no problem spotting it on his way to the Empress. Inspiration of Cups. I think this is him recognizing this is new, fresh emotion. He is not going to repeat old cycles. I even think maybe he understands, maybe he did do a couple of old cycles. That Hanged Man can be looking at things through a different lens, from a different perspective, and this card from a higher perspective. He might be reflecting back and realizing he had a pattern that was set for a while of meeting the same kinds of people, being attracted to the same kinds of people. Like, look, a Queen of Wands energy can be extremely charismatic, extremely sexy, extremely, like, there's always something very alluring about somebody who's, like, they swagger and they swashbuckle and they have this confidence, right? Confidence is so attractive. But confidence that is steeped in selfishness, and you realize, wait a second, you're not confident, you're entitled. That's a whole different thing. But sometimes I think entitlement can mask as confidence. Somebody who doesn't care what anybody thinks of them because they're like, look, I believe in, I need to do these things. I have good plans. I'm not here to hurt anyone, but I have to follow my life path. That's confidence. Somebody who says, I'm the best thing that ever walked this earth. Everyone is a peon and I'm the king or the queen. And I should have full reign to do whatever I want, get what I want at any cost. That's a person in the reverse. That's the way I would say it. And I think maybe he's realizing the difference between confidence and sexy charisma versus selfish. And that's a huge breakthrough. And I would say that's what this is. The sunlight bursts through. There's nothing more glorious than a bright day at the ocean, is there? Just because the light is so heavily reflected and it just glitters in your eyes. And here he is kind of like putting a heart in the sand saying, I'm ready for something new. This would be the Page of Cups, which is a fresh, new emotional offer. And I just don't think he's going to have to work through any more toxic individuals, even if he meets one initially. I think, look at this. This Four of Cups is always a card that can talk about illusions and missed opportunities. But in this case, the universe has been trying to protect him. And here he is again as a King of Cups. Yes, sideways. Look, his forever person is out there, right? We have the seahorses and they do mate for life. I just feel like this is a masculine who's such a great catch, and he is really like emotionally matured, and he is aware that sometimes he's been protected, even though he's learned some tough lessons also. He's ready for something different, which brings us back around to the Empress. How does he end up with the Empress? Ends up real fast after that. After possibly either reflecting back on a Queen of Wands in the reverse or bumping into a Queen of Wands in the reverse and being like, ooh, no, thank you. I think I'll veer around this landmine. And I think I'll just keep moving forward because I really want something different and better. It's almost like that's him clicking his ruby red heels together. And, he could always have had an Empress if he just recognized, he could have gone home at any time. I'm sorry, Wizard of Oz stuff is in my head. I should be using my Wizard of Oz deck, but it's too far for me to reach right now. We have a 9 of Wands. We have a 3 of Cups. Again, this morning at the beach. I don't know if the Empress maybe lives by the ocean or if this is just a metaphor for him, like being washed clean. This feels like there's some great conversations, truthful conversations meeting the Empress. And I feel like he meets her either at a little breakfast place, maybe somewhere by the sea or by a lake. I don't know. It's got to be the ocean because we got seagulls. But there's some wonderful conversations to be had, maybe over breakfast and whatever the pastries are. I guess they kind of look like cookies, but I don't know why. I'm smelling croissants right now. So I don't know. We got a tip of the hat to Paris right now. Best croissants of my life. Strength card and the Queen of Swords. She may not present as an Empress at first. There is some incredible gentleness, even as there is an incredible amount of strength. I almost feel like if he meets this Empress, she may be cloaked in a queen's energy. And I just say that because, until you really get to know who the Empress is, you get to know the depth of what they've created, the depth of what they've done in their lifetime. Sometimes you don't know you're dealing with emperors and empresses because they tend to be pretty humble, right? They are amazing, but they're not the person who wears a t-shirt that says, I'm a freaking Empress, bow to my greatness. They don't display it like that. So when he first meets her, it could just be for casual conversation. It could be a chance meeting. It could be something that it becomes a conversation. But if I'm guessing she'll be inquisitive because if she shows up as a Queen of Swords, very intelligent. Doesn't matter if this is a masculine or feminine, by the way. I don't read for genders, but this could be any arrangement or same-sex couple. Doesn't matter. But I just go with what we see on the cards. She probably, asks pointed questions in an inquisitive way, a curious and kind way. But I almost feel like they must share a moment or something where she either says, wow, that must have been awful, whatever he went through. I don't think he's, boo-hooing his story around town or anything. I just think there's this moment of recognition of how strong you have to be to not be somebody's prey anymore. And this could be her story also. Maybe, we have a predator going after prey in this image. And I'm wondering, because this is that 9 of Wands, this is the wounded warriors that have healed. And this is a meeting of the minds, 2 wounded warriors talking about, the battles that they've been through. I'm wondering if maybe these 2 are both combat veterans too. I didn't think about that until just now, but this could very well be that they share something that not everybody has gone through. It could just be the battlefield of life though, as a whole. But there's this, brave meets brave, game recognize game. I see you. I really see your strength. And I feel like she conveys it to them. And I feel like he conveys it to her. And I kind of think that the 2 of them, this is their kind of like their first or second conversation. There is something where thereafter, I don't know if they dream of each other, if they just simply can't wait to see each other after that. But these 2 have some connection in the astral plane. These 2 have some connection in the mutual admiration. It's because they have a real conversation. And I would say this, after the lies and the deception and the coercion that comes with the devil energy, an Empress does not latch on and force anybody and squeeze words out of them. An Empress also doesn't force anyone to sit down and hold them hostage while they tell their life story. And that's the thing. These 2 have such an easy flow. Everything about these 2 flows, which is perfect because they are a King of Cups after all. If there's one thing they would probably really love, it's a flowing emotional relationship that also has the strength to it and the truth to it. She is night and day different from that person of the past that toxic ex. And what's really nice is she is not going to be put in any kind of bizarre competition where he still is mad at the ex, thinking about the ex. He's just pleased to be free of it. But more than anything, I think he's amazed to meet somebody who is as strong as he is, has gone through things similar to him. Very beautiful. I'm so happy for these two to find each other. T Baby, I love that song. Love Pat Benatar. You guys, thank you so much for being with me. You guys are awesome. Oh my gosh, T Baby, I agree with you. I've never had better croissants in Paris. I didn't even know they could be like that. I had no idea. Patricia Bucator, great to see you. Hi, child of God. Aries, thank you for being here. You're so awesome. Lois, you are so lovely. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for giving it a thumbs up. And thank you so much, Lois, for reminding me to thank you guys for that. 11-8, you sweetie pie. Great to see you. You guys are so nice and welcoming to each other. I love it. Courtney Walsh, happy holidays to you also. Merry Christmas to everybody a little bit early, right? Hi, Shima. Great to catch you. Shima, did you change your name? Peace and love. Great to see you. In any case, great to see you, Shima. Brele, hi, honey. Hi, Wajuna Wild. Selene, great to see you, honey. Right back to you. Hi, Mon. Lisa's love. Shout out to you. Hi, Dwayne. Bridget Gore. Sarah's in the house. Hi, honey. Hi, Stardusty. Thank you for the heart. Lisbeth, how are you? Thank you, honey. Thanks again, Kimberly and Gianna and Shay. You guys, really nice to see you. All right, I'll see you guys again tomorrow evening. Lots of love, Roxanne. Love it, Shima. That's awesome. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye.